Good morning, student. This is Kiran Patil from Podai International School, Nandurbar. I would like to welcome all of you in this academic year 2020 and 21. Dear student, I will teach you SST. Before going to start our first lesson, we need to understand which are the important aspects of the lesson named our environment. There are four important things which are mentioned to here, and all these four things we will discuss here throughout this lesson. First, natural environment. It comprises lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. Second point, interaction between the components of environment. Third, human environment. And fourth, causes of environmental degradation. If you see this slide, here you can understand there is an activity. This activity is mentioned to here. You have to observe your surrounding and try to find out natural things as well as man-made things. Then after that you have to segregate all these things into two columns. First, products from nature, and second, human made products. I hope you will complete this activity at your home. Now we are going to start our lesson. Here it is the introduction part which is mentioned to you here. Dear student, the word environment is derived from the French word environnement. It means our surrounding. So in short, we have to say that whatever we see in our surrounding, it is the part of nature. So it can be living things, it can be non-living things. So all these things we can include here into the category of environment. So environment can be broadly divided into two parts. First, natural environment, and second, human-made environment. Natural environment includes physical and biological components of the earth. Now we will discuss both the things here in detail. Physical environment comprises non-living components. So these non-living components can be air, water and land. Biological environment, it includes all living organisms. It can be plants, it can be animals, human beings, some microbes or microorganisms. So these are the things which are mentioned to you here. Now we have to understand the second important concept of this lesson. It is human environment. So whenever we think about human environment, we must include the activities of human being, such as mining, constructions, then it can be economical activities, political activities, cultural activities. So all these things we can include here in the concept of human environment. So human environment is basically concerned with the things which are created by human beings. Now here it is pictures. Some pictures are shown to you here, and through these pictures we can easily understand what are the components of environment. These components are clearly classified into three parts: natural environment, human made environment, then human beings. So human beings are also the part of environment. So whenever we think about natural environment, we must have to think here three important things which are shown to you here: hydrosphere, water; atmosphere, air; and lithosphere, it means land. At the same time, living things can be the part of this atmosphere. Now we have to understand human made environment. You know very well that whatever the things are created by human beings, so all these things are included here into these concepts. So it can be buildings, spas, then roads, educational institutions, monuments. So all these things are created by human beings. Human beings are also the part of environment. So individual person can be there, then his family, then community. Different types of religions are there. These religions are also the part of our environment. Then educational institutions are there. Then political situations of our country, it is the part of environment. So all these things are included into the concept of environment. So I hope that you have understood all these points. Still, if you are having any doubt, you can text your message to me through WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning student. In the last video, we already discussed some information about what is environment and what are the classification of environment. Today we will get detailed information about natural environment. So whenever we think about natural environment, we must include biotic components and biotic components. In short, we have to say that natural environment comprises abiotic components and biotic components. Abiotic components are classified into three parts. First, lithosphere, it means land. Second, hydrosphere, it means water. Third, atmosphere, it means air. So in short, we have to say that abiotic components are specially concerned with non-living components of the earth. Now we will get information about biotic components. So when we think about biotic components, we must include living components. So living components can be plants, human beings, microbes or microorganisms. Now we will get detailed information all these important sphere of earth in detail. Microorganism. Now we will get detailed information about lithosphere. Lithosphere is the word which is derived from the Greek word lithos. It means stone. And sphere is the word which is derived from the Latin word sphaera. It means the total range. In short, we have to say that lithosphere is the sphere which is considered as the outermost layer of the earth. Now we have to understand how this layer is composed. This layer is specially composed by three important things. First, rocks, second, minerals, and the third, soil. Apart from this, we always find different types of landforms on this sphere, such as mountains, hills, valleys, and plateaus. Now we have to understand why this layer is important. There are five important points which are mentioned to be here. First, it provides us forest, and forest is useful for us from the medicinal point of view. Second, it is very important from the point of view of agriculture. Third, different types of human activities have been happening it here, such as mining, constructions, and other activities too. Fourth, human being require shelters, and this shelter is specially built up here on this sphere. Fourth, it is very important source of minerals, as well as we always get different types of power resources from this layer. So that's why this layer is too much important. Now we have to get the information about hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is the word which is derived from the Greek word hydro. It means water. And sphere is the word which is derived from the Latin word sphaera. It means the total range. In short, we have to say that the total amount of water which is specially found here on our planet Earth. There are some resources of water. These sources of waters are oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, and underground water. There are different states of water. Water always circulates through the different states, and these states are solid, liquid, and gases. Whenever water circulates through these different states, this particular process is specially known by the name of water cycle. Now we have to understand what are the importance of hydrosphere. First, water supports all forms of life. Second, oceans are the source of food and minerals. We always get various types of food, minerals, different types of fishes from oceans. Third, ocean always help us for trading and transportation. As you know that whenever we want to send some bulky goods or the items from one country to another country, so definitely we always use oceans from the point of view of transportation. Fourth point, fresh water is specially used for many purposes, such as we can use it for domestic purpose, agriculture purpose, and industrial purpose. Now let us see, we will see the third important sphere, that is nothing but atmosphere. The word atmosphere is specially derived from the Greek word atmos. It means vapor. And sphere is the word which is specially derived from the Latin word sphaera. It means the total range. In short, we have to say that atmosphere is the sphere of vapor. So it is a mixture of gases. So different types of atmospheric condition we always find it here. Wind, humidity, precipitations. So all these things we always find it here in atmosphere, and these things always form a weather. Now we have to understand the composition of atmosphere. So different types of gases we always find it here, such as nitrogen, it is near about 78%, oxygen it is 21%, other gases are specially found there near about 1%. Apart from these gases, we always find dust particles, water vapors in atmosphere. Let us see, we have to understand why this sphere is important. As you know that different types of gases we always find it here in atmosphere, and these layers are these gases are having some importance there. First, nitrogen is required to maintain the fertility of the soil. If nitrogen is not available there in the atmosphere, so definitely the fertility of the land or soil will be reduced. Second, oxygen is very essential for the sustaining all forms of life on the earth. As you know that oxygen is very essential for human being to survive it here on this earth. Third, carbon dioxide, it is very essential for the plants because plants always use carbon dioxide to prepare their own food, and if they do not get carbon dioxide, it's not possible for them to prepare their own food. Fourth, we always find ozone gas there in the atmosphere, and it always protects us from ultraviolet radiation of the sun. So these are the various gases, and these gases are very important for the survival of human being. Now we have to understand the fourth important point of natural environment. It is nothing but biosphere. Biosphere is the word which is derived from the Greek word bios. It means life, and sphere is the word which is derived from the Latin word sphaera. It means the total range. In short, we have to say that biosphere consists of plants and the animal kingdom. So we need to say that biosphere is the only one sphere where we can find the interaction between living organisms and non-living organisms with their surroundings. So due to this sphere, our planet has become unique planet here. So these are the some important things which are mentioned to you here about biosphere. I hope that you might have understood all these four important spheres of the earth. These four important spheres are specially included there in nature. Hello, good morning student. In the last video, we already discussed some information about natural environment and what are the components of natural environment. Today we will get detailed information about interaction between the components of environment. Dear student, as you know that there are different types of organisms we always find on the surface level of the earth, and these organisms have adapted themselves with the particular surrounding. Suppose if you go there in Jammu and Kashmir, we always find there apple tree. We never find such type of tree in our surrounding because these apple trees have adapted themselves in the particular surrounding. They require cold atmosphere. In the same way, if you think about our area, especially we always find here banana tree because the atmosphere which is required for the banana tree, that is suitable here in our surroundings. We never find banana tree in Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the ecosystem. In short, we have to say that the relationship between the living organism with one another and with their physical environment forms ecosystem. Now we have to understand how the ecosystem is formed here. Here you can see the slide. Through this slide we can easily understand that which are the important things we always find there in the ecosystem. So there are two parts which are mentioned to here, abiotic components and biotic components. Abiotic components are also classified into two parts, climatic and edaphic. So whenever we think about climatic, so we need to include we need to include some important aspects such as rain, light, wind and temperature. So all these are the part of climatic condition. Edaphic, whenever we think about edaphic, we must have to concern this topic with soil. At the same time, pH, minerals and topography. Topography, it is basically concerned with the various types of landforms which are available there on the surface level of the earth. Now we have to understand biotic components. So whenever we think about biotic components, we need to understand producers, consumers, decomposers. Producers are also known as autotrophs, Consumers are known as heterotrophs and decomposers are known as saprotrophs. Now here is a classification of consumers that is given to you here. You know, some of the animals are there, they are considered as the primary consumers. Primary consumers are also known as herbivores. So these type of animals always survive here on grass or the different types of vegetables. Secondary consumers are known by the name of carnivorous. So such type of animals always eat flesh, meat of different animals. Tertiary consumers are the large carnivores. And fourth one, that is quaternary consumers. Quaternary consumers are concerned with omnivores. It means that these type of animals always eat or always survive on various type of grass, vegetables, meat, etc. So this is the ecosystem which is clearly mentioned here. Now we have to understand another concept here, that is nothing but ecology. Ecology is a branch of science that studies the interaction between the living organisms and their surroundings. It is called as ecology. So when we think about ecology, so we can say that ecology, it can be very small like puddle or it can be very big like a tropical rainforest. I hope that you have understood these two important points. Now we have to understand different types of ecosystems. There are two types of ecosystem, we always find it here: natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem is naturally found in the nature. So there are four examples I have tried to mention it here. First, desert ecosystem, mangrove ecosystems, grassland ecosystem and coniferous ecosystem. Now we have to understand artificial ecosystem. Artificial ecosystem is artificially created by the human beings. Here there are two examples. These two examples are mentioned to you here. First one, aquarium. So aquarium means a glass container filled with water in which fish and the water animals are kept. Another example that is mentioned to you here, it is terrarium. It is a glass of vessel that contains plants and soils and creating a miniature ecosystem. So these ecosystems are artificially created by human being. Now we have to understand another concept here. It is nothing but biomes. Biomes Biomes are very small concept as compared to the other concepts such as ecology and ecosystem. The ecosystem comprises a distinct geographical zones called biomes, wherein each zone has its physical environment and distinctive assemblage of flora and fauna. So in short, we have to say that in different types of biomes, we always find different types of species, such as, suppose we can take here example of desert ecosystem. Whenever we think about desert ecosystem, we must have to classify desert into two categories: hot desert and cold deserts. At the same times, we must have to say that there are different types of species such as floral species and faunal species we find there in hot desert. At the same times, the species which are found in cold desert, these species are completely different as compared to the hot deserts. In the same way, tundra, then grassland. So these are the examples of biomes which are mentioned to you. I hope that you have understood. Now another concept that we will see it here, it is nothing but ecological balance. So in every ecosystem there is a perfect balance or equilibrium is in transfer of energy and the matter among the different components. So this equilibrium is known by the name of ecological balance. So in short, we have to say that if something is changed in the ecosystem, if the balance is broken, so definitely ecosystem will not work properly. So it's necessary for us to maintain the ecological balance, because if the ecological balance is broken, if it is disrupted, so definitely the function of ecosystem will be collapse here. Now we have to understand the second part of this lesson. It is nothing but human environment. Dear student, whenever we think about human environment, at the same times we must have to think whatever we find in our surrounding or whatever it is created by the human being. So it can be social and cultural condition, it can be political condition, it can be economical situations. So all these things we can include here in human environment. Before going to get the detailed information of the same topic, we need to understand the condition of human being in the primitive period. In the primitive society, people were having the limited needs, so that's why they did not do such type of development there during the primitive society. But nowadays, you know very well that all the countries in the world are trying to develop themselves, and they have been using all these different natural resources for themselves, and they want to do the various types of progress here. Here there are different activities of the human being that we always find it here, such as farming, grazing, mining, industry, and constructions. So due to such type of activities, the balance of environment is broken there, and this balance of environment is necessary to maintain here on the surface level of the earth, because as I have already told you that if the balance is broken, so definitely we will face problem here. Now we have to understand another concept here. It is nothing but environmental degradation. Environmental degradation refers to the loss of biodiversity or depletion and degradation of natural environment due to the pollutions, overexploitations and obliterations. Here we can see the three pictures which are shown to you here. Through these pictures we can understand that we all are the human beings responsible for the degradation of environment. I hope that you have understood this concept human environment and how the human beings are responsible for the degradation of environment. Now we will get the last concept of this lesson. It is nothing but causes of environmental degradation. There are 5 points which are mentioned to you here. Through these points we can understand how human beings are responsible for the degradation of environment. First point, inappropriate land use such as poor farming techniques, overcultivation, overgrazing and deforestation leads to the soil erosions. So there are some important things which are mentioned to here. If we do not do such type of things properly, so definitely the the fertility of the land will be decreased here. So these are the some important activities of human beings are responsible for the degradation of soil erosions. Suppose poor farming techniques, overcultivation. Overcultivation means if you take the production of the same crops throughout the years. Overgrazing, if we take the animals or the cattle in the same field continuously, so definitely fertility of the land will be decreased there. Deforestation, if you cut forest, so the first layer of the soil that will be removed. So these are the things, these things are responsible for the degradation of environment. Second point, inappropriate disposal of waste products or pollutants both from household as well as industries harm the natural environment. Dear student, as you know that there are different types of waste products which are thrown from our houses as well as industries. If you throw such type of garbage or such type of harmful things in the atmosphere, so definitely it will be harmful for the environment. Third point, rapidly increasing populations puts pressures on the limited natural resources, which leads to the loss of biodiversity. Dear student, as you know that our India is considered there on the second rank from the point of view of population. If the population has been increasing day by day, so definitely we will face a problem there in the future. So if the population is increased, so definitely there would be pressure on the natural resources. So these natural resources will be divided into different types of people, or will be divided into among the people there. So in short we have to say that rapidly increasing population puts the pressures on the limited natural resources, and it leads to the loss of biodiversity. Fourth point, rapid and unplanned urban development has led to the deterioration of air, water quality and the generation of waste. You know, human beings require shelter, but it should be properly planned. If it is not properly planned, so definitely um, we will face problem here. Suppose for example all these things have led to the deterioration of air, water quality and the generation of waste. So this is another thing. Now let us see last point we need to understand. Increasing transport networks also have the negative impact on the environment. For instance, constructions of parts harbors disturb the sensitive ecosystem of the coastal areas. So this is that. So different types of vehicles we have been using it here for the transportation of something else from one place to another place, and definitely different types of harmful gases are emitted here in the atmosphere, and these harmful gases are polluting the environment there. So I hope that you have understood this concept too. So these are the 5 points which are mentioned here, and these 5 points are responsible for the degradation of environment. Now we have to understand the concept map here. So this concept map shows to you that what are the things we have learned throughout this particular chapter. Okay, so I hope that you have understood the detailed information of this lesson. Still, if you are having any doubt, if you don't understand anything else, you can text your message to me. Thank you very much.